Once again, it's yours truly, Ricovibes, and I'm in the Selectors Corner on the Ricovibes video podcast. My special guest today is the one and only Nasheen Fire. What's good, man?
Respect, Rico. Respect.
Man. Now, we know you from a wicked sound called Innocent Sound, man. Mm-hmm. How did you start playing Innocent? Was that your first sound?
No, Innocent wasn't my first sound. I started playing music. I'm just gonna like try to wrap it up of where it started from. It started from Brooklyn, New York. You know, born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in Brooklyn, New York, raised partially in Jamaica. I fell in love with it, I would say at the age of like 14, 13 in Brooklyn. You know, just like some of the area sounds in the Brooklyn area.
Right.
You know what I mean? Back in them days, it was turntable days.
Yes.
And you know, they had like a little sound on the block I was living on, and the sound owner was a producer at the same time too. His name is Roddy Ari. I don't know if you ever heard about Roddy Ari.
If you lived in Brooklyn, you know what.
Yeah, well, I lived on the block. So I was seeing Supercat and Ninja Man and Shabba, Louis Rankin, who was Trevor Sparks, Frankie Paul, you know, Sister Carol, all of those people. I was seeing them at a very young age.
Really?
Because they used to come to the studio.
Did you
on the block.
I
didn't really understand it at first. I didn't know who those people was. Now I got old, I know who they was. But I'm just telling you how it started with me. Right. But me and my friend is actually the nephew of Roddy. So he was my best friend. His name is Dear. So I used to sneak out of my house and go over Fame house, and we were going to the basement where the studio was. And you see them DJing, you know, DJing. Them time, I guess they was making dub plates for songs at the time.
Gotcha.
They used to DJ to like straight to like the machine.
Yeah.
Like they DJ to the machine. So we watching them the whole time, and then my DJ them. I'm talking about Supercat.
That's when there was no punching and punch.
Yeah, no punching. One take, one take. You got Ninja Man in the studio. Supercat, you have all of them in the studio one time. Nicodemus, all of them one time, one take, and they, you know, they. So I'm like, yo, what is this? And then we start a little bit older, and we start understand. Say, yo, it's a sound thing.
Gotcha.
So the first cassette me get when I was like 14 to listen to and say, yo, yeah, this morning I play music was a Stone Love cassette from Jamaica with Rory and Weepo.
Whoa.
So
that was
at the
original
time,
Stone Love.
Yeah. So at the time, you just see a man on the microphone, on the cassette. Them time you have to rewind the cassette for catch everything. You know, you have to rewind cassette for catch every part. Just hear a man on the cassette that say, reaching out inside the thing we call and Sue. And I'm like, yo, who's this? What is this?
Right.
You know, and then like my brother I met me know that he knew more about it because he grew up, his family is in the music.
Gotcha.
So he's like, yo, that sound system, you know, Rory a Selector, I'm a DJ from Jamaica, that Stone Love, you know, whatever area, and start buying more of those cassettes. And then it was more of we start listening to like some downbeat cassette. So then I was like, yo, I'm interested in this more. This more I do.
And this was at age 13?
Yeah, this more I do. Before we got to 14, 15.
Wow.
So by the time we get to 14, 15, now we start understanding it and start knowing about the area sounds in our area.
Gotcha.
Stereosonic.
Gotcha. LP.
Afrique. Yeah. Techniques, Thunderbolt, LP. Spectrum, all of them sound, we start know about them and know say, yo, this Earth Ruler. Earth Ruler was actually like a couple blocks away from me, where I used to live. Their headquarters. And Fergo Digital was right around the corner at a restaurant.
So you live in the Flatbush area?
I live in Brooklyn, Flatbush, in the heart of Flatbush. So all these, I'm surrounded by these sounds and all this music. So we did there, I pray it and I say, yo, we start go dance, but we too young. How we gonna go to dance? So we start sneak out, me and my friend, start sneak out, we jump through window up on the second story, just for go dance. How we used to get into these dances, you know, is that we used to always hang with people older than we. So when we are 14, 15, we are part with the man, them we are 19 and 20, them in the music. So when we are go a club, them I find a way to get to in.
Got it.
So I'm going to Biltmore at the age of 14. Wow. At the age of 15, I'm going to Biltmore. You know, I'm seeing Bounty Killer live for the first time when he first came to Brooklyn. I was in that as a kid. Damn. You know, I was in Ali's versus Bodyguard when Mataran killed Johnny by himself as a kid.
Huge dance.
Yeah, I was in LP versus Bass Odyssey when Squingy killed Puma them, Big Up Stereo Boom, by himself that night that when him come at the dance late and there was a big snowstorm outside. Nobody even cared about the snowstorm. They must shut the shutters in a bit more. We're still in their party. I was in these dances.
Wow.
So
you were a kid at that point.
I'm a kid. So I'm there and I'm like, and back then when we was going to the party, then we wasn't even thinking about no girls or we never think about none of them things. We I think me and my brother just got to dance to see the sound them. So at this time, when I'm 14, 15, going to Biltmore, we standing up wherever the sound system is at. That's where we standing up, and I'm standing there the whole night. So I'm watching the movements. I'm watching from all the man where back then you used to have a man where him run the bass,
right?
And next man run the sampler.
Yeah.
And whoever select, man run MC, man pass the record them.
Yep.
You watching everything that everybody's doing.
Wow.
So me I watch them things and I say,
days.
yeah. So me I say, yo, more want do this. This is what more want do. But me still never really find like how me I'll get for do it. I never really see nobody that I really wanted to be like or that made me want to do it. I just know that I like the music.
Gotcha.
Boom. After a while, I know like another year pass and then here comes Mataran. Like I'm starting knowing about Addies and Mataran and Babyface. So that became my sound. Addies became my sound that I wanted to be like.
Gotcha.
Mataran was a selector they wanted to be like at the time. I guess every youth them time they want to be like Mataran still. And it started from there. So then when me and my little brethren from my block now, we be like a sound. We say, alright, we're going to try out for this now. Every money we get, we start buy a record. Every money me get them time if I go to school, me I buy a record. Plus my father, rest in peace, my father, he had died a couple of years ago. My father died when I was like 3. And he always collected records. So the records that he had, I used to like always, you know, I couldn't take them from the house because my mother would, my grandmother wouldn't let me take them. But I was always listening to them. So me get my money now, I start got a record shop, Super Power up on Church Avenue. I go there every day and then my friend. If I get $20 today, I buy 3 records out of that. Cause 2 something, you know what I'm saying, and change for a record them time. Then I buy it and he might buy a LP and I so we start collect the record. And we don't know for mix, we don't know for the nut, we just start collect record at the time.
Wow.
Boom. We get a little mixer, cause my brother did have a mixer in the house. Me they have a little component set, cause back then you had the sets where
the all-in-one.
It's an all-in-one cassette deck record. So I had one of those. So it was not really mine, it's my mother's.
Gotcha.
But she used to there work all the time because she was a registered nurse. She don't know what me at the home. So I just take that, go over my bridging yard. I will hook it up to the mixer and I'm a bridging have another regular turntable. Not all-in-one. I will hook it to the next side. And that's our 2 sets right there.
Wow.
The one that's all-in-one, you know, there's no pitch or no BAPM on that.
Yep.
You see me?
Until they came up with a technique with a wall picture.
So we started on that.
We
used to put the speaker in the window. You know, the set is inside. You know, me and my brethren up there where I play music. There's my brethren Ben and one more youth. I forget the next youth name, but it was the 3 of us, so we call it sound Young Force. My brethren Ben, him living in England right now. I think he's playing a different sound, you know, but he never really got to the big level, but he's living in England right now.
Right.
So it was that at the age of 14, 15, now around them age, I'm going to say, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So now, me, you know, we used to always in the street at Brooklyn. So I used to always go to like all the hooky parties, like day parties. I skip school and go to day parties. Any basement party I keep my daddy. I'm not supposed to daddy, but my daddy. So they used to have a little sound on the corner named Scavenger 357. There was like you know in sound system you have the big sounds, the middle sound and the small sound. There was like a middle sound, it was like the big thing in the area. I used to go over them house and them have the 2 rack and them thing there and the real technique turntable them and the mixer them and I say, yo, this more I do for real. So I used to start practice around this for them thing. Learn how to mix and all them something there. And then I used to go to my grandmother them house on the weekends in Crown Heights. And in my grandmother's building they had another sound that used to run Crown Heights named Magnum 357.
I know that.
And when I'm not by I'm Scavenger 357, I'm by them. So I'm practicing by over Magnum and I'm practicing over by them. And them telling me a little youth, you know, and them telling when you're a youth, for go on a sound, you have to know what you do. You can't just pick up, like nowadays you just pick up a laptop and play. Back then you have to know what you're doing, you can't go on the sound if you don't know what you're doing. So boom, after that, couple years now, we're there and the following year, I was doing too much of a not going to school type thing and more into the street type thing because now I'm a selector.
And my mother, age, 16?
Yes, 15 going on 16. So my mother wasn't having that. And she was like, I'm sending you to Jamaica to go live with her brother, which is my uncle. My uncle is a politician at the time and uptown and in a dance hall, none of them things there. Live up in a
That's supposed to be your punishment.
Yes.
Live
up in a Red Hills, big house and mansion, all them something there. So me I go from Brooklyn and in streets to this posh living. All them kids them go to good school and she was like, I need to go to Jamaica because I make you get back up. You know, you can't stay in New York because you got there, you got jail. So I go to Jamaica. When I first went down there, I didn't like it. The first 2 months I was mad at my mother. because I'm missing my friends in New York.
Gotcha.
I'm missing going to the party them.
Right.
Them time that Ali's them was about to clash somebody and she make me miss the dance. I'm a vex. But what came out of it though, I'll soon forward to that. Anyway, 2 months being in Jamaica, I didn't like it. This is at the age of 16, I was mad. So when I start got school now, I'm gonna start learning the bus route them in Kingston. Cause radios you have to come off of the hill and radios road, you know what I mean, run straight.
Right.
I used to go to Dunrabin on Washington Boulevard, so it's right there. So I'm start learning the bus route them on my own and say, yeah, I'm start go to Halfway Tree and start buying my cassette them from Jack Sower. If you know about Jack Sower,
of course, big
man, they
cassette.
are big cassette man from back in the man, they have every cassette.
Yeah.
So I say, hey, she take me from New York. Well, she put me in the home, which part it there. So I start go by Halfway Tree and buy my cassette them. She send money for it from New York to my grandmother. I get my little thing. All my lunch money I get every day for go to school. I save it up, buy my cassette them. So them time I start buy the Jara versus this. I start getting to the clash. Because at first I was just listening to juggling.
Gotcha.
It's when I go to Jamaica now, I start say, yo, dog, the clash thing more I get in there, you know what I mean? And I'm start listening to different angles, I'm listening to different sounds. Kilimanjaro, I listen to Silver at them time there. I'm just discovering these sounds at that time. When I was in New York, I didn't really know about the Jamaica sounds. So then I say, oh, a big thing this. So I was in Jamaica for like a good year and a half, then we come back to America. When I came back to America, we moved straight to Florida. When I moved straight to Florida, I didn't like Florida, and I was like 16, going on 17, and I remember I called my brother in New York, and I was like, yo, man, I like Florida. I want to come back to New York. I want to play music. My brother was super slick. Super slick.
From Africa.
This is where I'm going into the first sounds I'm playing now. Super slick from Africa now, which is Next Level. He owns Next Level now.
Right.
He was playing on a song called Super Do. Big up Mr. Do. You know what I mean? That's the first sound owner boss I ever have in my life.
Really? So you play Super Do?
Yeah. I was named Crazy Kid at the time. It was me.
Oh.
It was me. I was a little kid at the time. I was a teenager.
Gotcha.
And I used to pass the record them and everything. But they put the picture them on the flyer them. I'm playing at Billmore one time. You know what I'm saying? One time I was like, you. But anyway, I called him. I was like, yo, brother, I want to come back to New York. I want to play music. He said, all right, come back. He sent a ticket for me. I'm a minor, you know. I'm not supposed to do that, you know. But he knows I want to play music. I know him from a long time. I used to always hang around them. And them know me interested in the music. I used to go check them on Jerk Chicken Corner every Labor Day weekend. So they know me interested in it. So in Cardo.
That's 31st and what church?
32nd in church.
32nd in the church.
Yeah, so in Cardo, them line it up. I reach back to New York. I play Super Do for about, I think, about a couple months. I don't know why I left Super Do, but I ended up left Super Do. I think Slick was leaving too at the time, or do they like a pocket. I don't know what happened. Something transformed where I left Super Do in the sense of me going back to New York. I started playing Megatone.
Okay.
Tip Top sound.
Tip Top, yeah.
Yeah, I started playing Megatone from Upper Parkside for a couple months, and then I run into some situation with the laws of juvenile in New York. I end up go to Central Booking. I'm come out of Central Booking and I say, you know what, I'm going to leave New York because I'm going to dead or go to jail. I come back to Florida in the same year. I didn't stay in New York for the whole year. I stayed in New York for like 6 months. Come back to Florida now. I'm come back to Florida. My mother get diagnosed with cancer. And she died like 8 months after that. Wow. So when my mother died now and I'm like 17, 16, 17 them age, I say, yo, I have to find something more to do. I start link up, with my brethren down there, which is now my niece's father. That's my sister's baby father. We start playing on a sound in Florida called Capricorn. Stitchy.
Is that Stitchy?
If you listen to the dub them from Capricorn, my name is in them.
Okay.
It was me, Stitchy, and my brethren named Penny.
Okay.
All right, this is about 17, 18. We start playing Capricorn. We play Capricorn in a Fort Lauderdale for about a good 6, 7 years. Matter of fact, we moved up here in Atlanta in the year 99 for a year. The man who owned the sound, he lives in Atlanta. We moved up here for a year and then we moved back to Fort Lauderdale. Then the sound broke up. Capricorn broke up after like 6 years. So after Capricorn broke up now, I go up on a little sound named Star Force of Fort Lauderdale. I'm gonna play that for about a year. Yeah, I think that was like 99. I played for about a year. It never last long. After I left this now, I stopped playing music for about 2 years. I said, I'm done with music. And then now, I'm in one party one night, and my virgin, at the time, he was my virgin, saying, Dapper, you understand me? Him see me at one party and he know my caliber of playing music or whatever, and he must go to him, the boss, Taylor, and say, yo, me have a MC more come play the song with me. Them time the Junior Flex used to play the song. Rest in peace, Junior Flex.
Yes.
He used to play Innocent, him and the boss kick off, him not play Innocent no more. It was Dapper on his own. You know, Dapper introduced me to Taylor. I played the song one night in this party in Fort Lauderdale, I'll never forget it. And from that night he was like, yo, why I play my song? And that started I think 2000 or 2001. And I played Innocent for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, in that 15 years, what would be some of your most memorable moments for that in that 15 years? I mean, you were basically a clash sound.
Yeah. I would say our most memorable. My first one was, cause I have about 3 of them. The first one was when we clash Pies and Dot for the first time. It was a Memorial Weekend. I think this was like 2005 or something, and they beat us so bad. It was Courtesy and Tarantula there the night. Tarantula didn't even play the song the night. He was there I watch. That's how bad Courtesy beat us. Wow. Beat me and Dapper to a pulp. That night there, Taylor did spend about $15,000 per. You know, back then, before you go to Clash, the thing was to spend money on your vice up. You know, so Taylor spent like $15,000 on that Clash, and we lost that Clash. We lost that Clash so bad that when we got back to the studio that night, because we had a studio in Fort Lauderdale and everything, when Taylor used to live in America, me and Dapper did fight the night, because we blaming each other on why, because we was young at the time, and we just wanted to get in the game, and we had to clash the big boys, but we didn't understand that, yeah, it don't matter, you think you the man around your people them, but when you go in front of the big boy, then you have to have some knowledge and some experience to the game. Correct. So that Courtesy teach you that night there. And after that, I couldn't sleep for about 5 years after that beating there. I was clashing back 2000 and, I forgot, it was 2009 or something like that. We clashed them back and we beat them. And that was my most memorable moment because it was a big thing, because Poison is the biggest sound system that represents Florida when you say outside in the world.
Of course.
You know what I mean? They went to World Clash and everything. So us beating them at the time, and Innocent was just coming up. It was a big thing for us. And after us beating them, that kind of opened the doors for us in the Clash world when you seen us going to New York regular, see us going to Europe, you know, that Clash right there solidifies, because, you know, beating Courtesy is like beating a legend.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Courtesy,
so he is a legend, you know what I mean?
He came to the first US Rumble.
Yeah.
And he came on to one-to-one with National.
I used to listen. They the first one I think had, was it CD players or laptops? Laptops. Courtesy them at the time.
And they beat
the first one. Yeah.
They beat us.
Yeah, you know.
We thought that time Noah had just came on the sound. Yeah. We thought we were the shit, and
because y'all had so much songs.
Yeah.
But it's not about the songs, you know. We're gonna get into some of that later, but it's not about the songs, you know.
So you play Innocent for 15 years.
From 2000 to 2015, because I left 2015. Okay. Yeah.
Why did you leave?
You know, say me and the boss did have a situation where I just think say could have never been fixed. So I just choose to go on my own. Do
you think it can be fixed now? That you
probably... I mean, as we get older and you think about it, probably back then, you know, I could have handled the situation. I'm a type of person where, you know, I react in the moment, and when I do react in the moment, I usually stick to that.
Gotcha.
You know, so at the time, I just thought that, you know, that's what I wanted to do, and that's the move I wanted to make. And, you know, I don't regret the move, because post-Innocent career, I think I've done good for myself, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So... But I still love that sound to this day. That's like, if you notice, I never played another sound. I'm the only one on the sound that got Innocent tattoo on him. You know what I'm saying? Innocent for life. So, you know, that's so, and I got this when because I had to do some time one time, and I came out of jail, and when I came out, it's like, I'm getting this on my hand, because Innocent, at the time, when me that played Innocent, I was like more of, all of us played a good part in the sound, you know, Dapper, Juxi, everybody played a good part, but I was more like, you know, the heartbeat of the song. You know, I'm not just giving myself that credit. I just know that's what it is. Right. I used to represent Innocent everywhere I go. People know that. To the fullest. You know what I'm saying? To this day. You know what I mean?
For real.
But probably if we did angle it different, I probably, you know what I'm saying, would have changed it. But I don't regret the move that I made. Gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't really do things I regret it. You know what I'm saying?
What's the relationship between you and Dapper today?
I mean, at first, when I first left the sound, all of us was good. But me and none of them not talk no more. You know what I mean? It kind of dissolved the friendship. between me and none of them, you know. And it's just one of those things, you know. I don't have no hate against someone like that. You know what I mean? I still support the sound Innocent. Like when I left, if anybody willing to talk the truth, when I left Innocent, like most people when they leave a brand, they more promote their brand.
Correct.
You know, and I was promoting my brand, and anytime they had like a clash, when they was going to World Clash, when they was going to US Rumble, or anything like that, it was in any competition, I'm posting on my social media, yo, listen to me, Innocent for the win. Innocent rural people was like, why you still doing that? Because that's my sound. I played it for 15 years. Right. You know what I'm saying? That sound made me made people know of me. If it wasn't because of Innocent, people don't know who Nasheen is.
Gotcha.
So that's why when I left, and I was getting like a lot of offers to play like another sound, like a lot of big sound, not mention none of them names, but a whole bunch of big name sounds that you see right now. You know, I was getting offers like crazy. It was like a raffle, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I never did it, because I don't think that I will ever get, the glory that I used to get on Innocent on another sound. You know, I care how big them name is, how much ammunition them have. You know, people just like, because I get it all the time, you know, people always ask me when I'm going back, you know, you need to go back so Innocent can start killing sound again. And, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, yo, yeah, that was back then, you know, I'm doing me now. You know what I mean? But that's why I would never go and play another song.
Gotcha.
Because Innocent is still dear to my heart, you know what I
What
mean?
do you classify yourself as Nasheen Fire? Are you a clash selector? Because I've heard you juggle, and to be honest with you, I didn't know you can juggle as well until I saw you in Moments for Life.
Yeah.
We were playing alongside Mataran, and I'm like, that's when my ears perk up. I'm like, wait a minute, this dude can juggle?
I mean, can you understand, you know? Remember, say, more time people have certain views of who they think you are, based on, you know, what other people say or how them see you act. You know what I'm saying, in your moment. I remember saying my style of playing music is kind of a hardcore style, you know?
Right.
But remember, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, around the likes of, you know, the Matarans and the Crazy Riches and the Jagabis and all these people. So when you was going to parties back then, you had to hear the souls, you had to hear the R&B, you had to hear the discos,
for sure.
You had to hear the reggaes, you had to play music in a way that you pacing yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like now. So most people who don't really listen to my SoundCloud and stuff like that, they wouldn't really know that yo, Nasheen can juggle, because most of the world seen me on the clash scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was always prone to having myself like, if I'm gonna go into the selecting world, I'm not gonna be one of them selector that where if I go into a baby shower right now, I don't know if I play for the baby shower. Cause me feel like say being a DJ or a selector, your ultimate purpose is pleasing the crowd that's in front of you.
Correct.
So whether you're in front of a class crowd or you're in front of a baby shower or a kids party, you know, you need to learn how to adapt. If you don't, go do some research and adapt.
Facts.
That's the way of playing music. But you know, most people play music for themselves and them friend. I don't play music like that. You know what I'm saying? I play music for the crowd that's in front of me. You know what I mean? So if I go in front of a dance right now, I'm gonna say majority of the dance is elder people who like more of the classic music. Majority of my style that night is gonna be towards the elder.
Gotcha.
If I go into a party right now, see it's more younger people who want to hear the Ricovibes and the rock stars and all them things, that my juggling is gonna be more catered to that. If I go into a party and there's nothing but, you know, West Indian people, like, you know, they have to hear them soca mixing with the reggae, my style is going to be to that. You have to pay according to the people. And most people going on the party, them don't even take a time out to scan the patrons that they're playing for.
True.
They think that they reach, you know what I'm saying? I treat every event that I play for to this day like it's my first event.
Wow.
You know, because if I don't, like, if you're not hungry for it, no, I've been playing music for a long time, over 20-something years. The day that I stop, you know, feeling that vibe, that, you know, I don't know everything and still need to listen to some more of them young youth to hear what go on, or any day I stop feeling that I know it all in the music, then I'm going to start playing music.
What do you think is your biggest accomplishment thus far playing under the banner of Nasheen Fire?
Going to Africa, Gambia.
Okay.
You know, my biggest accomplishment was, you know, being Jamil's DJ for the year of 2018, which I'm going back on the road with him again next year, 2021. So y'all look out for that. And it was like a great accomplishment. I've been a lot of places in the world when I was on Innocent, because we did our Innocent tour in Europe, you know. I've been to a lot of places on Innocent, but when I went on my own, you know, going to these places under your own brand, you know, it makes it kind of more surreal. You know what I mean? And the more these places I was going to, you know, I didn't even know that so much people was listening to me in the world.
Yeah.
Because you have fans, you know, like in this game, sometimes you will get discouraged because, you know, a king is never really represented in his own place.
Exactly.
So those things would, you know, discourage people.
Yeah, for sure.
When you start going to these places in the world and you have people like, you know, Nasheen Fire, listen to your SoundCloud all the time. From when you was playing Innocent and This Dance and Rura Ray, and you're like, wow, you know, them things that make you know so you're really doing something. So when I went to Gambia now, to Africa, with Jamil, it was Jamil's show, I was the headline DJ and all of that. And I have people in the crowd when I'm done like, yo, you know how long I've been listening to your SoundCloud? Wow. I'm like, wow,
a lot of people don't realize
Africa,
how
man.
important SoundCloud is and those mediums.
Yeah, man.
They don't realize how important
like,
it is.
I didn't even know it was like really like that. And then, you know, those things just boost your confidence more, you know, to make you want to do great things in the music. But that was my biggest one so far, going to Gambia. I've been a lot of places in the world, but Gambia, Africa, knowing that, you know, all of us was really originated from Africa. Correct. You go to these places and see how they treat you. From you get off the plane, you're getting like red carpet service. Yep. I'm not even a king, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the type of motorcade and stuff like that.
I experienced that, man, and I couldn't believe it myself.
And when you work for your own people, you don't get treated like this.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like,
for sure.
You know, I'm going at the world already. As much as you see the racist thing going on right now, which, you know, I don't deal with racism, but as much as I deal with people according to how they deal with me. I deal with energy and vibes. That's how me roll. I don't deal with because you black and because you white and because them teach with them thing, but me don't roll like that. And the reason why I don't roll like that is because I travel in the world already, and I've played for people already that's not my skin color, and they don't come from where I come from, and them treat me better than the people who come from where me come from.
True. I've experienced that
so
as well.
So people need to travel too.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to travel,
not just
going
people,
in the world,
selectors
too, man. You got to travel and go in the world and see, because even music, like certain music that people worship and glory, like they glorify over here and worship, some of them songs are not even big some places in the world.
Yep.
Real music is big in the world. Yep. Real music lasts forever, and those things go every corner of the earth. Yeah. But you have to travel to see them things. Yeah. You understand?
For sure.
Yeah.
Every sound have a artist that this is my artist, right? Who's Nasheen Fire's artist?
Well, from innocent days, first it was Killer. You know, first it was Bounty Killer, and then we don't know what, somewhere along the line when we did go to jail one time, I tell you about me do a couple months, I'm come out. It's like he wasn't talking to me again. We don't know about Killer the General, because Killer's the first big name artist. We put me upon a big event, his party, It's a Party. I played on that party when I think it was 2009 or something.
Okay.
Headline DJ and everything.
Wow.
And Killer's the first man that gave me that experience. So big up Bounty Killer, because him is really, like when you hear people say, them man they bust the most people in a dance hall, it is true. The man they take up Selector upon him head, and take up artists upon him head, and give you that glory there. That's people know you.
That's facts.
You know what I mean? Because people never know about Nasheen and Innocent in Jamaica until I start linking with Killer. That's how our name got big down there, you know what I'm saying? Taylor was in prison doing a couple of years. We was out here on the road by ourselves. We didn't have no boss helping us or nothing like that. So me just start say, yo, I have a network at Jamaica. Start flying at Jamaica. You know, me meet Bounty Killer. How I met Bounty Killer is because I took on Mataron in a one little clash of fully loaded at Miami. And nearly beat him. I didn't fully beat him, but I nearly beat him. Killer heard about me. I went to Jamaica, met Bounty Killer. He gave me like 8 songs for free.
Wow.
You see me?
That doesn't happen.
You understand?
If you're no Killer, you know, that doesn't happen.
But I threw him rate the talent and see who me is, and I say, yo, you're a lion. So boom, whatever, boom. And then he made me meet Bounty Killer. I mean, Movado. I met Movado through him.
Gotcha.
Me and Movado's like this till this day. That's my friend. And that's my artist.
Gotcha.
Movado, my artist. From Innocent, everybody know that. Movado. I call him right now. I say, yo, singer, me need so and so up and up. He might do it without no question. I'm a friend that for my life, and I'm an artist that for life. My brother, Mr. David Brooks.
It's funny, you know, knowing you and seeing how you are, the general public don't have that perception of you.
Yeah, I know.
The general public say, oh, him this, him that, and the other. But I know you differently.
Yeah.
How do you take that?
You know, so me really, as a youth growing up, I was never, even when I was living in New York and living in Brooklyn, our own little clique that we used to like sneak out and go at clubs with and part, like for a little clique, I was always a leader mind frame. From even back then, I would never care what nobody want to say about me. We would never business. The people them who know me and them good.
Gotcha.
So growing up, you know what I'm saying, along the years, you know what I'm saying, and you know, my mother passed away when I was a teenager, and my father died when I was 3 in Brooklyn. You have this mentality where, you know, you're forced to grow up faster than, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a teenage life, you don't have certain things because you lost these people in your life.
Gotcha.
So it makes you kind of have a hard shell outside. And that's what keep me going, you know what I mean? It's like I don't really, because if you don't know me, you're gonna say what you wanna say about me until you meet me. I've met a lot of people where when they meet me, they must say, yo, Jano, to how people perceive you and me and you talk right now, that is so not it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm a no-nonsense person too. I can be a certain way, I admit that. I can be like, I don't take nonsense.
Gotcha.
And when that part they come out, probably is a situation where people say, yo, you know, but most people know me through music, and even though they don't like me, they still respect what I do. And once you still respect my craft, I'm okay with that. You don't have to like me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think there's life after music for you? Are you ever going to? There is life after music?
Tell you the truth, I don't really see myself playing music until the ages of the Matarans and the, just naming a few. It's like how them man there, like I love music bad, you know. I love music bad. I'm not telling a lie. I really love music. Music is a thing where it alone bring me through like a lot of things. Music. Like I could just be driving somewhere and I hear a song and it just do something for me. You know what I mean? So I love music. I love playing music. I love delivering music to people and seeing their reactions and how they act. I love that.
Gotcha.
But like after when you get to like a certain age and my style of playing music, remember I'm very vocal of how I play music. You know, I'm very I'm not filtered and stuff like that. I express myself through music. You know, so I don't really see myself because I'm 40 now. I don't see myself at 45 going in a dance, saying certain shit on the mic. Sorry, excuse me, and doing all these extra. I mean, I see it. You know what I mean? If I ever play music in a them age, it have to be some one-off, some special event. You know, they might bring back a when dance was nice event and they might book me. I'll do that, but I'm not gonna be doing it on an every night basis and them thing there. You know, me, man. I love chefing. Enough people don't know that, you know what I mean? I love chefing and I love the food thing. And I always want to open a restaurant. I never get to do it back, you know, in my whole glory days of this whole music thing. But
you didn't have time.
Yeah. But that's like my next move.
Okay.
And once I get it started and kick it off, you know what I'm saying? And once it's in that position, I know I'm gonna slip away from the music. But I'm always gonna have some type of ties to the music, you know? Gotcha. If I don't play music again, I'll probably, you know, do promoting events and, you know, probably try for some little bit of producing because I have a lot of artist friends in the game, you know. I have a lot of friends that build rhythms and stuff. So if I want, I'll probably dabble in that. But the playing music until I'm 55 and 60, that's more of a playing in my house type thing. I'll play for some little session from a little friend them have a little, you know, that's what I think them. And I think I go out there in the world all night to scream up my throat to all. You know what I mean?
Wow. Now you've been in the music for 20 plus years. You've seen it come from then to now. The selectors of then, you know, like, you know, we come from the same era, the New York era to now. What's the major difference, do you think? And is there pros and cons to it?
You see me, you know, let me tell you how I look upon music. I look upon music the same way I look upon life. Things that's happening right now was never happening when we was teenagers.
Correct.
Because things evolve.
Right.
You know, music evolves.
Right.
I might not like certain songs that come out right now, but I would never bash it because there is an audience for that.
Gotcha.
And just like when we was growing up, you know what I mean? People and before we used to be like, yo, like Bounty and Beanie and them man there. Them man there, I be a slackness, I eat that song that you listen to. And now the people from that era, the Bounties in that era, they doing it now to the younger kids.
Correct.
There's an audience for that.
Correct.
I don't approve of certain music, but I would never knock it. So it is a big difference from back then, the way how selectors play music back then, to the way how selectors play music now. But I would never diss no youth where I play music right now. I'd be like, yo, unna bad because unna come from full era where we come from record. That don't mean say them no bad.
True.
You probably can learn something from them too, like how them will learn from me, you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I don't really have a opinion on that because I just feel like say music is music and music evolve. Now, I respect the ones who take the time out to learn the history of them thing more than the one them who just pick up a laptop and say, okay, I can't play music. Because you do have some younger ones out there where them inbox me all the time. You know, a lot of young DJs and a lot of young selectors inbox me all the time and ask me, you know, information about music and songs and back then and classic stuff, and I tell them, and some of them be like, they be so surprised because they be like, yo, I link other big name selectors too, and they would even answer me. Wow. You know, because we have a thing in the Caribbean where everybody's a fight against each other. Nobody don't want to see nobody get to the next level. So if we are playing music and you have people who look up to you, and them ask you something and you can even reply to them or give them some inside on it, that means say just, you mash up the business.
Yeah.
You mash up the business. You not try to make the business go longer. No, me can show you in my inbox crazy selectors from all over the world who listen to my SoundCloud. You know, and I'm sure other selectors who are on the same level as me right now, like the Polish them and the Chris Time and them people there. I'm sure they get questions all the time too, because people want to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
When I was growing up, I wanted to know certain things. I was just too scared to ask them. Because back then, selectors was more of a star than how they are now. Selectors and sound system were respected more then than how they're respected now.
True.
You know, they were more, you know, when you see Rory coming to dance or you see Jagger B coming to a party, it's like you see Michael Jackson coming to a party.
You're right.
You know, nowadays, any man just look to see, that's a DJ. And, he, you know, back then they had some respect on them thing. So I don't really have an opinion on how, you know, the times have from back then to now. It's because music evolved and everything evolved.
Is there anything that you haven't done in the business or anything that you feel that you haven't accomplished in the business that you think you need to accomplish before you kind of hang up your hat?
The only thing that I've always wanted to do, and I actually had the chance to do it, and I never do it, but me having that chance to do it was because of my own situation too. I've always wanted to win a World Class trophy. And it's happened to be the year that I left Innocent. Dapper went to US Rumble. He won the US Rumble and went to World Clash the next year. And if I was still playing Innocent, it would have been me and him. Actually, when he won the US Rumble and he was crying on the stage, you know, it's because, you know, me and him I played the song from 2000. And we worked very hard. Play enough free dance and enough free event and do enough things to get the song on a level. And then I left that year and then he won. It was kind of a surreal moment, you know. Wow. And they was going to World Clash and we used to always talk about going to World Clash and say if we go to World Clash we're going to win. Because I actually feel that because when them go World Clash, he didn't actually go to the event. I guess he didn't want to go because he didn't feel that he wanted me and him to do it. I think I don't know what was going through his brain, but Juxie and Neely went, and Juxie and Neely was not the Clash selectors on the sound at the time.
That was a kind of surprise move.
Yeah, the people them didn't want to see them, and there's no disrespect, but in the Clash game, that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? They were seeing me and Dapper killing people like for the last 4 years, and y'all about to go to World Clash. They wanted to see us, you know, and I guess he knew that too, and he didn't want to go. So our opportunity for winning World Clash, I wish I should have swallowed my pride. And that moment,
did you have an opportunity then to go?
I could have. We wasn't like conversating about it. We was friends at the time, and I was telling him that you could do it because I'm the one that kind of boosted him to do US Rumble.
Gotcha.
But if I said to him like, "I come play a World Clash for that, not do that one dance," he wouldn't have. Actually, I think he wanted to. I think as many times me and him talking on the phone that he wanted to ask me that, but true more time brain just chip. He didn't know where my brain was, and I was actually doing real good on my own. I was traveling a lot. I was going to England and all of that on my own.
Wow.
So I guess, you know, but I think if you'd have won, we'd have won. And no US sound has ever won World Clash.
That would have been history.
So it would have been a history.
Yeah, that would have been history.
I know me to have the potential to do it. I know that our chemistry and what we had going, we could have did that, you know? So that's the only thing I regret that I never did, you know what I mean? And then a World Clash is gonna be next year. And Chin is, I think that's the last World Clash he's doing, so I'm never gonna have a chance to do that again.
So there's no possibility of saying, okay, let's do a one dance innocent reunion for one night only.
I mean,
anything.
It depends upon the situation. I never say never to things. You know what I'm saying? It depends upon the situation and what the situation is and how it's presented and stuff, you know, and at the time.
But what do you want to say to young selectors? You know, I mean, everybody, you know, have a different opinion of certain things. What do you want to say to young selectors coming up?
Well, this is what I really want to say. Is if you ever take up this thing here, you know, take up this thing here with a love and a passion, and like, you know, wanting to take it past the levels that you look up to, or the we that you see before you doing it. You know, don't just take it up and keep it up on a level and take it past further. You know what I mean? Study the game. Study your music. You know, there's never too much music out there. You know, like the situation as far as like you're going to a party and 5 selected up on the dance and the 5 selected them play the same thing the whole night. Yeah, you don't need if you're a young selector coming to the game, don't go to that road. I always know, say, music is such a powerful thing that you can use any music at any time and get a reaction from people, because music is the only language that everybody speaks in the world.
Correct.
And I know this after going out into the world, you know, and going around people who don't speak the language where me speak, but as me turn on a song and say what me I say, them understand everything. So just study the game and study your music. Learn your music. From back then come right up till present time. And just keep your mind open, you know what I'm saying, on the music part side. Don't put yourself in a box, man. You know what I mean? If you see yourself doing something as far as music-wise, playing music and delivering the music, and you see that you're getting repetitive with something, always try some ways. Don't be scared to listen to other people. You don't know it at all. You know what I'm saying? I listen to enough young selectors. I listen to old selectors. I listen to enough people SoundCloud. I listen to some people SoundCloud where they probably think that, he would never listen to my stuff.
Whoa.
But I do. Because you're not going to know everything.
True.
You know, there's songs out there that I don't know. You know, I'm going to go up on somebody's thing, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to say, yo, that song that bad, I'm going to want it. I'm going to need to find it. So, you know, don't put yourself in that box. Just learn the game. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to be one of those elders telling you, yo, you know how to do this right, and you laptop DJs. And cause sometimes I don't like the cussing of the youth, them, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because we all was at that level at one time.
Of course.
We're always trying to get into the game.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Some of the two like that part of the game still. I mean, we never did that. You know what I mean? So, that's how it goes.
Wow. So you're getting ready to go back to Gambia, and the Gambia is my place, man, you know.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to go back to Gambia next year.
We're going to Gambia, we're going to Ghana. Because the last time when we went, we only went to Gambia alone. This time I think we're doing an African tour. Okay. So I think he said it was Ghana, Gambia, and Nigeria, and one more place. I forgot the other place. So yeah, we're doing that early part of next year, I guess. And you know, the islands, you know, I've been to Guyana, Antigua, Grenada. You know, I didn't get to, actually when Jamie went to St. Kitts, I had a separate show at the time, so I couldn't get to go.
We got to get you to St. Kitts. Next year, we're going to, you know, given the time, we're going to get you to St. Kitts.
But I've been to a few islands, you know what I'm saying? I love playing in the islands too, because even playing music in the islands, man.
It's different.
You know, like, that's the thing about playing music. You know, people that feel like, say, okay, it's like you have Vibes Cartel around the place, right? Certain songs where you think around the place from Vibes Cartel in your city up here in America, when you go to a place in the island, it's a total different song around down the side. Where you not even think about it.
True.
You know? True. Certain reggae artists too where people overlook. You know what I mean? In you know, the Romean Virgos and the Christopher Martins and the, you know, the Little Heroes and the PZ and these type of people. They are big in places in the world. their music not stop play. You know, and some of the people who you rate like were running the place now, the Popcorns and everybody, not saying they don't have good music, but you know, it's not, they're not running those places.
True.
So music is that thing where you have to really study your music and study the places. Like, you know, if you're trying to aspire to be like a traveling DJ to and go out into the world, make sure you study which part you're going. And study what them love about the music and them
Good
things.
Advice. Good
Don't
advice.
bother feel like say you going somewhere because people book you for and your name Nasheen Fire, Lord and Bust the Crowd. Yo, people, I am if you come here saying I know everything and I'm going to go do this. No? Yo, I usually tell promoters book me like a day before, fly me like a day before or 2 days before. I need to go on party. I need to go to an event in that town or something. I need to see where I go on.
That's good.
Because you don't know everything.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
That's good. Before you go, is there anyone Nasheen Fire would like to clash? Anybody on your wish list?
Yeah, I want to tell you the truth, you know, because since the whole quarantine thing going on, you know, they was doing quarantine clashing on the internet, like, and you know, my name always getting called on it, and everybody asking me to do it, and I've gotten so much, like, I didn't really know that people want to see me. Sometimes I have to wonder if it's people want to see me clash, because they want to see me dead, you know, because I was getting so much inboxes on, yo, bro, we need to see you clash. Females too, like, when you going to clash on, we got to see you clash. So, you know, like, I had stopped cutting tunes. I'm starting to cut back tune, about a month now, and I'm getting back into that vibe. And to tell you the truth, if outside open back up next year fully, I'm gonna start taking back some clash. And when I start taking back some clash, yeah, I'm gonna clash anybody. Because just like when I was playing Innocent, I wasn't really scared to clash nobody, if you know the history.
Right, of course.
So just know when I step out back next year, in the clash world, you know what I'm saying, if them open back up the world like that, we can keep those things. Yeah, man, I'm gonna trouble a couple of people, I'm gonna start a couple of war.
You're gonna trouble a couple of people?
Yeah, man, because I'm probably about, if I do it, you know what I'm saying, I'm only gonna do it for like for a good 1 year or 2 year span and leave it alone. You see me? But I'm gonna give the fans them that because I didn't know people, just like you said, sometimes you have to really weigh how people look at you because you said, you even said it like, you know, to the way how people view me and you know me, you know, sometimes you get overwhelmed to see so much people really want to see you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's overwhelming, you know what I mean?
For
so
sure.
I'm gonna do that for the fans next year. So just look out, fans. There are some things that come up and you know from the Clash World open back up again, you're gonna see me on the battlefield. Any boy can get it, you know the thing now.
People, my special guest today in the Selectors Corner, Nasheen Fire. Yo man, this is part one.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna do part two down the road. When you come back from Africa, I'm sure you're gonna have different experiences.
Of course, all the time,
you know?
man. Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Respect our manners and yo, people make sure to follow me on my Instagram and follow me on my SoundCloud. That's the only social media I deal with. I'm gonna deal with Facebook, I'm gonna deal with Snaplight chat and them something there, and I'm gonna deal with Twitter and them something there. So SoundCloud, Fire Nasheen, FireNasheen. You know, Instagram Nasheen Fire. You know the thing go.
There you go. Special guest today, folks, Nasheen Fire. The Selectors Corner is the Ricovibes video podcast. We'll be right back.